Welcome back to Vlogmas. It's day something. I don't know what day I'm gonna post this, so I'm not gonna say days. It'll get posted, I don't know. I'm here with Lily and I wanted to talk about something that a lot of people ask me questions about. It's how to become a pet content creator and how to grow your audience. I get a lot of questions about it. I get a lot of people asking me for advice on how to do it. As somebody who has built, I see you, a relatively large platform. Like, I'm not a huge creator, but I've built a pretty good platform on Instagram, TikTok, and now YouTube. I wanted to share it because obviously I want everybody to be successful. And there's some things that I see people do that in my mind are just like, no, you should not be doing this. And we want everybody to grow and be successful, of course. Some of these tips are things that I just really have not seen other people talk about. And these are not gonna be tips like, you need to post 25 times a day or only post at this time of the day or something. These are actual things that I think are gonna make your content better, and creating better content is therefore gonna get you a bigger following, because a lot of people just don't seem to like know some basic things, which is totally okay because content creation is just like new to everybody. I am somebody who, my previous job before I have this job that I'm at now, I was a TV producer. So I produce morning news for several ABC, NBC stations, and that requires a lot of storytelling. It requires a lot of visual, just knowing what looks good visually and having an eye for certain things that's gonna catch audience's attention. I started making content on TikTok about 4 or 5 years ago. And I wanna give this advice as somebody who has made over 6 figures on social media this year, well over 6 figures on social media. And I think that I just have some tips that are worth sharing. And it also comes down to not just creating content, but also building a really engaged and loyal following and people that actually genuinely want to watch your stuff. The number one thing that I would say when you are starting to create content is your face should be the brand behind your account. I totally understand that there are accounts that are just dogs. Like, the whole account is just dogs and you rarely see humans. But I don't recommend that, and it works for some people, but having your face is super important because A, your audience will connect better with a human, with a person. Sorry, Lily, being naughty. Your audience, like I was saying, is gonna wanna connect with a person. I will connect on a personal level with a human versus a dog, like, or a cat any day. And so that's super important in building that. And also brands, a little secret, brands want to work with accounts that have a human behind them. They prefer that, actually. And so I know it's scary to get up and talk in front of a camera and you feel self-conscious, which I did too. I still feel like that. It's a very normal feeling, but if you do want to create content, I would recommend like trying to get over that. Find something that you're actually passionate about. Don't just get into social media and be like, I'm gonna post workout videos when you're not passionate about it, or I'm gonna post dog videos when you're just like not that passionate about doing that type of stuff. Because if you're posting content that you're not passionate about, people are gonna see right through that, and it's not gonna come across as genuine if you're just doing it to make videos in hopes of making money. I see so many people that will just post things and you can tell it's just, they just want to like eventually make money on social media, which is great, but you can tell it's just not something genuinely they care about. And the audience is not as dumb as some of y'all think they are. It's very easy to see through that type of stuff. And so that would be my number one thing. Number two, and a lot of people will not like this, is you have to treat social media and content creation like a job when it isn't a job. I posted on social media for probably 3 years before I even made money. I was very strict about what I was doing. I knew that I wanted to start it. I'm somebody that once I start something, I'm gonna put 110% into it. And you have to treat it like a job. So what I did was I made a schedule in my notes app, and I had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I would plan out my posts. I would plan what I'm gonna post Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That way I could make content beforehand because I do work a 9 to 5, and I had it ready to post because I hate, this is obviously something that's basic, but consistency is key, and you can't be consistent if you don't plan out what you're gonna do. And another thing I do in my app, in my notes app, is any idea, because a lot of people say, I don't know what to post. I don't have any ideas. Any small idea, no matter how big, small, dumb it seems, I put it in my notes app. I probably have hundreds of ideas in my notes for videos that when maybe I just don't have the best idea, I go through and I look and I'm like, oh yeah, I totally remember that. And that's a great way to just have a catalog of things that obviously you thought about, that you thought it was a good idea. And it's gonna give you just like content for a couple weeks in advance, which not a lot of people do that, which I find strange because it's such a good idea. I have some like notes on my phone that are very dumb and stupid ideas that I probably would never post, but you never know, because sometimes like the dumbest videos I post do the best. It's very weird. Another tip is any video you post should do one of the three things: educate, entertain, or inspire. I totally get that posting just like off the cuff videos is fun, but like that is not a way to get people to want to follow you. You have to provide some sort of value, some sort of reason why people would want to follow you, not just posting some random like video of whatever. There has to be a purpose behind it, because you can have people view your videos all day, but, oh, this is shaking. You can have people view your videos all day, but actually getting people to follow you and want to continue to hear what you have to say is another challenge, and then be an engaged audience. It's very hard to build those three things. Views, comments, or views, followers, and then engagement are three separate analytics that are each one hard to obtain. Doing one of the three, like I tell people all the time, make a series, make like an educational series or just like a funny series, something that people are gonna know you by, that people are gonna recognize you by. Like one time I did a series of skits that were reasons that I have seen and heard people surrender their dogs to a shelter. And I did it in the same exact spot every single time. Like the background was the same all the time. What I was wearing was the same all the time. And so people like recognize that. So once they see one and they like it, A, they're gonna interact with it and it's gonna pop up again. And B, they're gonna recognize the background and recognize you. And so that is something that I always tell people: find a series, like something that you know a lot about, or you are just like taking a journey. Like one thing I'm considering doing is starting a series about trying to get Penny to interact and be neutral and fine with my cats. That's something that I want to start. I haven't done it because I need to plan it out, but that is something that I think would be a good idea. And when it comes to content, I seriously want to stress to post quality content. This is something that seems so basic, but I see so many grainy, dark, too bright videos that just don't make sense together, that are just all over the place, that you can't even tell what's going on. Post quality content. It should be well lit. You should clearly be able to tell what's going on. It shouldn't be shaky and moving around too much. And you should be able to see what's happening. And I feel like so many people just like post. And I get like not everybody has the eye to maybe see like what's good content. But if I'm gonna give three things, make sure it's good lighting, make sure it's not blurry or grainy video, and make sure people can tell what's going on. So those would be my three really basic things. You'd be surprised how much not quality content, and this is only if you're trying to be a content creator. If you're just posting stuff, I want to stress that. If you're just posting stuff to post it to have fun, that's fine. But if you're really trying to make content, that should be something that you strive for. If you're trying to build an engaged audience, do not just post trends. Trends are funny, sure. I don't post trends because all a trend is gonna do is maybe get you some views, like a viral video, but it's not gonna make people necessarily want to follow you. I don't do funny sounds. I don't even know the last time I did a trend or like a voiceover or a lip syncing to something. Trends are not really gonna get you a lot of places, in my opinion. You need to be posting original content that people are going to want to come back for. Rage bait, guys, rage bait is not content. Rage bait is infuriating. Rage bait is infuriating to constantly see people do because you're not really showing your personality. You're just like addressing people in your comments that don't like you when you should really be focusing on the people that do like you. So rage bait, it really frustrates me. I do see a lot of accounts that only post rage bait. I don't like that. I wouldn't recommend that. Oh, yeah, this is a big one that I see a lot of people do. Do not put your animals or your pets, your dogs, your cats in dangerous or uncomfortable situations for videos or for trends. Just don't do that. Like, nobody wants to see that. Putting your dog in an uncomfortable situation is not something that your followers want to see. People are not going to want to follow you if you see you do that. If they see you do that. I don't like it. Don't be afraid to talk about controversial topics. I do that in a lot of my videos, and it doesn't mean you have to be a controversial person, but talking about things that maybe not many people talk about in like the niche that you're in is important because it promotes engagement, it promotes conversation between people, and it also is something that's going to get shared. So say I don't know what it would be like. I've talked about bad rescues and what to look out for. That is something that can be controversial, but also it gets people to share it, so it gets seen further because other people want to tell people about this and spark the conversation. And so my opinion is anytime you press post, you are opening yourself up to criticism. So if you're knowledgeable about something and can talk to people about it, post it and talk about it, because being the person that does that in your industry or your niche or your whatever is really important, and it's going to make you stand out. And for the love of God, please engage with your audience. I see so many creators, some small, some large, that don't respond to any comments. They don't like any comments. They're not engaged with people. Like, please, if somebody takes time out of their day to leave a comment on your post, you should be responding to them, because those are the people that are going to help you grow. And those are the people that you should be talking with and wanting to conversate with and hear their opinions. I just like can't stand when I see that happen. It's like, what are we doing? I talk to so many of my followers and have become friends with a lot of them because they have the same opinions I do, or it's just a great way to like meet people and talk to people. Oh, and then the one thing that people always talk about is you need to find a niche. I agree with that. I do. Like, my niche is animals, pets, rescue, fostering. But within that, you don't have to stick to one thing. Like, I post a lot of lifestyle, like life with my dogs, and I include what I'm wearing, or I do cleaning videos and I include a lot of cleaning supplies. So I've gotten brand deals with cleaning supplies. So like, don't let people tell you that like you have one niche and you have to stick to it and you cannot stray outside of it, because that's not necessarily true. Like, being multifaceted is super important, and trying to like be in other spaces is also really important, and finding something still that sets you apart in your niche is something that's going to help you too. Like, I have 5 dogs and 2 cats. Not a lot of people have 7 pets, so that's something that kind of sets me apart. I also talk about controversial topics, and I'm not afraid to be outspoken, and so that sets me apart, I suppose. But it's just something to think about as you're wanting to do this. And the very last thing that I want to talk about, because I've been talking for a long time, you need to get over being cringy. My AC just turned on, but you need to get over being afraid of being cringy. People are going to think you're cringy if you have 100 followers, if you have 1 million followers. It does not matter, but you have to get over that, because that will stop you. Like, if you're like, I don't want my friends to see this, block them then. But if they're your friends and they're making fun of you, then they're not actually or if they're making fun of you for doing this, then they're not actually your friends, and making you feel bad about it, then they're not your actual friends. And you just unfortunately have to get over that, which I hate to say, but you have to. It's just part of it. I think I've gone through this entire list, and I hope this was helpful, because the main things that I want to stress is treating content creation like a job when it's not. You being the face of it, and being consistent, and posting quality content. Those would be my top 4 things that I would stress to you as you're wanting to do this, because there is so much money in social media and in influencing and content creation. People, you would be shocked. When I first started and I would start seeing some of the numbers, I'm like, what? You're gonna pay me what to make a video? And I want everybody to be successful, but there are certain things that you have to do. You have to remember, you have to be strict about in order to do it. And yes, okay, there are people who just go viral overnight and whatever, but like that's not the case for 99% of people. 99% of people have to work really hard at it, and just remember that it's hard work. I cannot stress that enough. It is hard work, but it's worth it if you want to do this and you want to be successful and you want to grow and potentially do this as your full-time job. But just remember that anytime you press post, you might get somebody that says something mean. You have to get over it. It's still difficult. Like, I get mean comments all the time. It's hard, but at a certain point, you just kind of like let it roll off your shoulder a lot more and you can't let it get to you. But I think it's such a cool industry and I get a lot of questions about it. And so I figured I would share in a longer form video that has more details. So I hope this was helpful. And yeah, I'm actually excited I thought of this one for Vlogmas, but stay tuned for the rest of Vlogmas because there's going to be more. If there's other long form topics that you want me to talk about or subjects, let me know because I will do it.